Welcome everyone to the SERL American Ethanol Series Season 2 Race 16 at the Milwaukee Mile, a 1-mile oval that is currently the oldest speedway in the world. I think it was constructed and completed in 1903 and has been around ever since then, and it still hosts major motorsport series or leagues such as the SERL, and the SERL is very proud and honored to be back here uh, for the second season. And I think that in the foreseeable future of this league, we will continue to come back here. And it's really a one-of-a-kind racetrack, but there are some characteristics at this track that I don't think you see a whole lot at other racetracks we go to in the SERL, and that is the fact that it is almost entirely flat. And what this flat surface does is that it makes it pretty difficult to pass. So I think that a couple laps after the start and the restarts, uh, it's going to be almost hard to pass. And wherever you are is where you're pretty much going to be until a caution comes out or until the end of the race. And a good example of that is last season's winner, Zachary Fitzwater, who is not in this season, but he started third, took the lead, exiting turns 3 and 4, coming to the second lap, and led that lap, and never looked back. And I feel like that we could probably see the same thing tonight. And also in that race, I think it was one of, if not the calmest, cleanest races we saw all season long. There were only 2 cautions, and they were for pretty small incidents. And if there was a DNF, which I don't recall there being any, it was just like one DNF. And I think that, like I said, we could see the same thing today. But anyway, there are a couple drivers I think that are worth showing. One of these drivers is Dean Orton in the 13. He comes into this race second in points and actually gains some ground on the points leader Dale Scott. And with him starting on the pole and Dale Scott, where does Dale Scott start? Looks like he starts sort of middle in the field. So yeah, this is one of Dean Orton's best opportunities to gain points. It's something that Dale Scott does not want to see at all. But Dale Scott, it seems like that there have been those moments where it looked like that he was going to lose the points lead, but then he got back. But I think that he definitely should be on the lookout and not try to get himself into any trouble, just because he doesn't have to worry about just Dean Orton. He also kind of has to worry about Andrew Gorman in the 22 and Biff Crafton in the 62. Andrew Gorman, who this season has kind of been known as the driver to start great up front. And I think that he could easily be our points leader. And the other driver I mentioned was Biff Crafton in the 62. He comes into this race 4th in points. It is a pretty big ground. He has to finish more than 34 spots ahead of Dale Scott, and so while he may not be able to take the points lead away, he definitely could still gain a lot of ground. So currently, right now, we have ourselves a pretty interesting championship picture, and I think this race and the next few are definitely going to be one hell of a races when it comes to that battle. And now, let's get the cars rolling off. Here is the starting lineup. So on the pole, is, like I said, is Dean Orton. Blank, he starts alongside of him. And Blank is a driver that has come close and is currently inside the top 10 points. He's 8 points to round off the top 10. Cameron Gauntlett, Connor Breen, Ed DePaula, Johnny Mills, Ryan Casey, John Martin, Dana Voiles, Cameron Blake. So I see potential of drivers scoring big in the points. I see big potential in drivers that have had struggling seasons to get really good finishes. And here is the rest of the field. And how will this race turn out, and B, how is the point standings going to look after a total of 25 laps? It's going to be one interesting one as the green flag comes out right about now at the 1 mile racetrack located in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Dean Orton gets out to a great start here, and if we have a long green flag run, we should be able to stay too wide for a couple laps, but then things will settle down back to a one lane because the thing is the bottom is the way to go, and the bottom what also makes the bottom quite interesting is how it has um, uh, like an asphalt strip on the bottom right here, and the asphalt strip actually creates more banking right here as Connor Breen goes around the floor into the wall right here. Daniel Wills in the 33, he also went around as well. Connor Breen has pretty big damage on the front and left side of his car. I don't see a whole lot of damage on Daniel Voiles, but alright, our first caution is out at Milwaukee. And Dean Orton is still a leader, and he will be able to lead all these caution laps. And this is good for him because now that gets him ever so closer to clinching most laps led, and that is another bonus point that Dale Scott does not want to see Dean Orton gain. Connor Breen came by the start finish line before this happened in the 5th position, and he was on the outside of a 3-wide situation here. And John Martin, who was in the middle right here, he was gaining ground, but Connor Breen, maybe he had to check out or something right here, but him and John Martin hooked together here, and then Daniel Voiles just has nowhere to go. It looked like Daniel Voiles might actually skate right here, but once Connor Breen hit the inside wall, it sort of caused him to hit the left rear of Daniel Voiles, and so he goes around. But both drivers did a nice job of not coming back up across the racetrack, because that could have been a very big crash, especially at Milwaukee, which has a very narrow racing surface, but just racetrack overall. I think something like this happened in the Truck Series race yesterday at Gateway, where there was a hooking coming off of turn number 2, and a couple other drivers got some damage. But that one didn't cause a caution, and this one did, and Connor Breen was the biggest loser. Where is the best place to be during a wreck? In front of it, and that's where Ryan Casey happened to be. Connor Breen and Daniel Voiles will start in the rear of the field because they had to make pit stops, and so the tons of points that they could have easily gained, those are all taken away. So tough break for those two drivers. And now we are going to get the green flag here on lap 7 of 25. Dean Orton is still the leader, but I think that now we could easily be in for a long green flag run. This is what I remember seeing last season, which was we had an early caution, and then we had this long green flag run, and now the green flag is back out. Dean Orton gets a nice solid restart. But now Cameron Garlington in the 25, who it's been a season of mostly not good for him, but I think that he actually has been able to improve it a little bit, and I think that's why he's now inside the top 25 in points. But anyway, now he's going to get past here from Johnny Mills and Blaine Keys, and also Evan DiPaola. Johnny Mills in the 7. This was a driver that won at Kentucky and was going to have a nice top 10 finish at Castle Gorge if lap traffic did not get in his way. Because what happened was that I think it was Jonas Maths Jr. who was a lapped car, and basically he was in the way of a couple of drivers. Johnny Mills was one of them, Blaine Keys was another, and just kind of got in the way, and all led to a crash taking out both drivers, thus resulting poor finishes. But anyway, now Johnny Mills, I don't know how much he has for the leader, but this would definitely be a great finish for him. And another driver that's just looking good, that is just looking for something good to have right here, is Evan DiPaola in the 55, a driver that I think is around dead last in points entering this weekend, but he's been around that throughout most of the season, and for the most part, it just seems like that not a whole lot has really gone right. He would just love to finish right around where he is. Another driver that would also like to have that kind of day is Ryan Casey, another driver that has had a pretty miserable season. He has had some good races, or he had some races where he could have gotten a good finish, but then this happened. Most notably, I remember Kansas, where he got the pole, but Phil Goldberg in the 18 went to try to make a pass, but ended up taking him out. But anyway, now we have a battle for the lead. Johnny Mills looking to the inside, Dean Orton. He wasn't able to do it that time. Maybe the next time. Well, actually, now, here comes Evan DePaula in the 55. Yeah, I think that's a consequence you take when you try to pass someone and you can't do it. You lose some momentum. And I know I've said this before, but the thing is, passing does make your car run slower, because the thing is, not only are you trying to get around the racetrack as fast as you can, you're also worrying about trying to have enough speed to get by the driver they're trying to pass. And so the thing is, I think that it can easily get in your way, and that's why your car is slower. But here comes Johnny Mills, who got a great run through turns 3 and 4, and now he's going to try to the inside again. To the inside, is he going to have the preferred line? Dean Orton, he's making something work here on the inside, but it looks like that Johnny Mills will have the position down into turns 3 and 4. Johnny Mills, he got into the corner good, but then Dean Orton got back. But then Johnny Mills are here. Here we go, and now Dean Orton, he's possibly going to get freight trained from the outside here by a bunch of drivers. Evan DePaula, Ryan Casey, Abe Troxell in the 24, another driver that who's had a pretty oh my goodness, just struggling season, and would love to get finished right around here. Ben Braley in the 40, a driver that also has not had that great season. So a lot of drivers are here up front that have not had a great season. So, so to me that shows the sort of wild card race that Milwaukee is capable of being. But anyway, Johnny Mills, he's now pulled out ahead as Dean Orton continues to fall back. Riley Smith in the 0-1, a driver that is trying to maybe he can't win the championship, but I think that he could definitely be a lot more higher in points right now, and what's going to help him get there is finishing around this area or better. But anyway, now our focus is going to shift back to Johnny Mills here, as it is now lap 7:15. Where are the air drivers? I don't think we're going to catch any lap traffic here, but this is not the day that Dale Scott wanted to see. Right here, as he's going to lose quite a bit of points here to many other drivers, but as you might have saw right there, there's Cameron Blake. He's not doing that well either. Where's Andrew Gorman? 25th, actually trying to get by Dale Scott. 3 wide are here in the middle of the field. Well, my goodness, there might have been some contact. There might have been some contact between Ian Saunders and Lisa Gonzalez, battling around 20th. But wait a second. Oh, for some reason I thought Johnny Mills was gonna catch Connor Britton. But anyway, Johnny Mills, is Abe Troxell gaining anything on him? No, he lost 0.02 of a second the last time by. But it looks like at this point it's gonna be one of these two. As is the caution out? Whoa, my goodness here, huge second right here. What happened? You saw this smoker here, but it doesn't look like anyone got into any trouble. I can't really tell whoever did spun. Yeah, I just can't tell. But anyway, we are still green here, and look at this, Abe Troxell. He's actually been able to run down Johnny Mills. Looks like Abe Troxell. It looks like his car comes in a lot more better on these long green flag runs. And here he goes. He only has a couple more laps to make a move though. Can Abe Troxell score his first career win of the season? Like I said, it's been a pretty struggling season, and I think that a win would mean so much to him. Ryan Casey in the 55 right here, but anyway, no, the caution's out. The caution is out here at Milwaukee. Kendall Maynor, Tony Valerio, Connor Britton's teammate. Those seem to be the 2 drivers involved. Oh my goodness, LJ Mills with some heavy damage. Anyone else with some damage? Nope, it does not look like it, so unless something happens to Johnny Mills, he will be the winner of this race, and he will go back-to-back. never mind, not back to back. He will win 2 out of 3 races. So good run for him, but also what a good run for Abe Troxell, Ryan Casey, Ben Braley, and Ed Paul. All drivers that they all just wanted to finish great, and they all got great finishes. And now let's take a look and see what happened coming off of turn number 2. Well, I think you know what happened based on this look. So, Kendall Minor and Arsh Hossain, they hooked together. And so right down here into Tony Valrio here, and that causes both of them here to go hard to go into the outside wall here. Tony Valrio hits the outside wall pretty hard, and that's concrete, no safer barrier. And then LJ Mills, who almost got slowed down just in time, or he was trying to slow down, still just had nowhere to go. But amazing dodges are here from Nick Smith, Randy O'Neill, and Jonas Maffs Jr. But looks like Tony Valrio looks like that he could be our one and only DNF in this race. Torren Dieter in the 44, who actually came into this race 6th in points, he's not going to get like a great finish at all. But if there's one thing that he could be happy about, it is barely avoiding this crash. I believe in the past few to several weeks, Tony Valrio had actually made some slight improvements and enough improvements to get himself inside the top 10 points entering this weekend. But now that is all going to go away, and I gotta say, I think this impact is going to hurt. Man, his car hit so hard that it almost immediately jerked back the other direction. The race is official. Johnny Mills has won again, and so this is now his 2nd win in 3 weeks. And to round off the top 10, Abe Troxell, Ryan Casey, Ben Braley, Dean Orton, Evan DePaula, Cameron Garlington, Blaine Keys, Cameron Blake, and Ben Goldberg. And so that is your top 10. So other than our winner Johnny Mills, our other big winner in the points, especially the championship picture, was Dean Orton. I don't know if he's gonna take the points lead. He needed to finish more than 21 positions, and he did that. I think as when you count the bonus points, it's gonna put him ahead just a little bit more. So Dean Orton, I think, should be and will be our points leader once the points are all tallied up. So now this is the first time in a really long time when you look at the season that our points leader is gonna be someone not by the name of Dale Scott. And the thing is, I think that with Dale Scott, but it wasn't just Dale Scott. It was I think Andrew Gorman and Cameron Blake also not having like that great of races. It's gonna allow a couple other drivers to maybe close in. So things might get very interesting in these next couple weeks. But anyway, I would like to thank you all for watching this race. Be sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and buy. And I hope that you tune in for the Hot Wheels Cup Series race at Grand Detour, a brand new circuit later today. Thank you all for watching, and bye.